Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on a Tuesday morning. I am absolutely shocked. I don't go live often, but when the New York Jets fire their head coach, that calls for a live stream over a video. I think we're going to do our live reaction to the New York Jets firing head coach Robert Saleh. The news was just announced no less than 10 minutes ago by Adam Schefter. We'll pull up the tweet. We'll pull up everyone's reaction as well here as, again, the New York Jets are firing head coach Robert Saleh. I did not think they would make an in-season firing. They pulled the plug at 2-3. He is the first coach fired this year. I am a little bit surprised. I'm not, displeased with the idea to pull the plug. I didn't think Robert Saleh was the guy, but I did not expect the New York Jets to actually make this move. Schefter follows it up saying, Jets inform Robert Saleh on their decision minutes ago. There will be a new head coach for Monday night's game versus the Buffalo Bills. What else do we got in here? Here we go. Didn't want to do that. Robert Saleh's tenure comes with the Jets to an end at 20-36. Not a good record, as we know. They were waiting for Aaron Rodgers to figure this thing out. And the last news that I'm sure you are all very concerned about, I'll retweet this on my feed as well. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich is named the interim head coach. Jeff, it's on you, my man. Jeff Ulbrich is going to have the opportunity to save the New York Jets season. That's what this move is. The Jets are attempting to save their season. A 2-3 start. They haven't looked good at all the last 2 weeks. They're coming off a really tough loss, back-to-back games. Both games, neither of them look good. I wish, I haven't seen any news yet, but I tweeted it out. I said, do Hackett next. Let's kill all birds with the one stone. Robert Saleh gone. Get Nathaniel Hackett out of here as well. He can go. It's the Jeff Ulbrich show. They needed a new voice. Some of the comments from the players over the last 2 weeks, very strange. Quincy Williams essentially saying, I'm tired of hearing the same thing. We got to hold the players accountable. Aaron Rodgers had the quote after the Denver game saying we could either do that or start holding guys accountable. And the New York Jets, once again, they decide that this is the move that they want to make to try to save their season. Guys, super chats will cut it. Other than that, I'm kind of just going to react to the comments. We could do call-ins later on as well, but kind of just, again, looking for the fallout here. As the news just came out, Robert Saleh is no longer the New York Jets head coach. Let's go to the chat. Beloved P says, is this for real? Yes, it is very real. The New York Jets are no longer coached by Robert Saleh. It happened very quickly. 5 weeks into the year, the Jets decide to pull the plug. I don't blame them for doing this. And peek behind the curtain, I was minutes away, just mere minutes away from posting a rant talking about Davante Adams. And what I was saying in that video, I'm not going to post it because now it's a moot point, because part of what I was saying was, as much as we might agree that moving on from Saleh or moving on from Nate Hackett is the right call, the Jets just never do that. Under Woody Johnson's tenure for the last, close to 25 years, they have never fired a head coach in season. It's just not something that they do. They didn't do it with Adam Gase. I didn't think that they would do it with Robert Saleh. And it was uploading. We were like 3-4 minutes away from that being posted. So lucky timing on that one. But yeah, Robert Saleh out as New York Jets head coach. Let's go into the first super chat of the day. Thank you so much, Keith Murphy. The Unbeaten says, hopefully my Niners can get Saleh back. Look, there is no denying that Robert Saleh is a fantastic defensive mind. Fantastic defensive mind. He did a lot for this Jets defense. They have been a really good unit each of the last 3 years. This past year, bad start against your Keith's San Francisco 49ers. But in the last 3 games that 4 games, that they played since that game, They've allowed 17 points or less. And now the other guy is going to see if he could continue that success. Jeff Ulbrich, I think he deserves credit as well. Back to the super chat or the comments and super chats we go. Johnny just says, bro, Johnny boy, what's going on, my man? I can't believe it. We got over 800 people in here, guys. I really appreciate you coming to hang out for this one. I'm going to drop in the chat the call-in link. We'll do our reactions to this together because I don't know what to say other than I didn't expect this to happen. I don't necessarily blame them at all for making this move. And it's the Jets, to me, trying to save the season. Hype comes in with the super chat. I hear they're also getting offensive assistant. We are going. I will look into everything that comes out. We'll hang on for a little bit, see what else the Jets do in the next maybe hour or so. I'm just dropping the call-in line in the chat right now. I'll pin it. Again, thank you guys for coming to hang out. This is nuts. I did not expect this to happen on a Tuesday morning. How better to start this than going to our guy who is the first to call in every week for the pregame show. And he was definitely waiting for that link to go in the chat. It's Doug calling in.
I got you on YouTube on my computer. I got Jake on in the background talking with Beningo right now. I was listening to Jake and he said breaking news. I'm not kidding. I thought he was about to say Tay Adams got traded, and he said nope. Robert Saleh is fired. I thought it would come if we had lost to Buffalo on Monday.
Me too.
I think that was the general consensus among fans. If you ask them, if we had lost to Buffalo Monday, Saleh was getting the can. But this was the right move. Like, I tried being a solid defender for so long, but like what Joe's saying, I think it makes sense. I think he lost Rodgers. He lost the locker room. The team loves Ulbrich. The defense has not been the issue. It sucks Hackett's got to stay, but, it is what it is. And now, later today, we're going to get to Devontae Adams. So this is going to be an eventful day in Jetland.
It is. I think I might just be live all day. It's going to be like one of those free agency streams where I'm on for 7 hours kind of a deal. But yeah, was not expecting this to come today. I would have thought if they were making the move to fire him, it would have happened on Monday. They waited the extra day to the off day on Tuesday to pull the plug.
Yeah, because they gave him the press conference yesterday and everything was a little weird.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this was, again, it was the right move. The fans love, the team loves Ulbrich. Also, the comments that Quincy made the other day.
Yeah, the Quincy comments and the Rodgers one, I think, really stand out to me the last 2 weeks on why this happened.
I bet you now a lot of people are going to hammer, like, don't want to get into betting stuff right now, but a lot of people are going to hammer the Jets Monday night. You get that first game, interim head coach spark. And also, we're in those great throwbacks on Monday, too, so that plays into it. But no, like I said, I've tried being a solid defender for the longest time, but it had to happen. And now you give and I think Ulbrich could actually become the long-term head coach too, because there's no reason why they can't go on or run and win the division.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. We'll definitely have to see how it plays out over the next little bit. But I'm excited for Ulbrich because I think he was going to get a head coaching opportunity at some point very soon. And sorry, I'm frustrated because I'll pull it up while you're on here. We'll get your reaction. Pro Football Talk says the 2-3 Jets who are on the verge of being 3-2 on Sunday fire because dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. My reply was fuck off.
Yeah, I was going to say fuck off. PFF or whatever they are. Pro Football Talk always hates the Jets, hates Rodgers. This is the anti-political shit. Like, sorry for the language. I know some kids will maybe watch. Well, no, they're in school, so fuck the kids. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, poor Connor. He's probably in history class right now.
Connor's like, what the hell am I doing? Poor Connor, man. He has not. Again, he remembers the Josh McCown season as the first season he remembers.
That's tough.
Connor. Must be rough. No, but again, I think the sentiment against Jets fans, like what I was saying when we thought it was going to be Monday night if we had lost, or Tuesday morning. Because it's also weird they let him do the press conference yesterday if Woody decided I'm going to fire him,
No, it is a little bit strange, the timing on it. Doug, we got like 20 more people in here to get
let
to,
him
so
in,
I just
but,
wanted
like,
to get your reaction quick.
I'll
And go
call
through.
it later when Tay Adams gets traded. Don't worry.
I love it. We're gonna keep this thing rocking. Doug, I appreciate you. Next up, another call legend. We got to go to Sin City. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing good. What's your take on the decision to fire head coach?
Why is Hackett still there?
Fair, very fair
Like,
question.
I get it. He's made some terrible in-game decisions. He's a good person. He's done some great things for the defense, but let's be honest, the offense is what struggles the most. We only let up 10 points last week. It's not like the Jets defense let them put up 20 some, or no, I'm sorry. They did get the field goal. They put up like 16 points on the defense. My apologies. But that's a winnable game. So it's not the defense's fault. It's the offense's fault. Hackett needs to go. However, we did talk about this in the beginning of the season. Who the hell's going to call the plays with the Hackett gone? So
yeah, I get if they were to fire Hackett, I would think Todd Downing would just take over at that point. He has some play
that would be
calling
worth it.
experience from the Titans. Not that he was great in Tennessee, but it's someone different at least.
Right. And at least Rodgers can kill the play at any moment. So, I think Saleh, it's kind of tough to see him go before the end of the season. I think it was a little premature. But also, if there's change in what happens when it comes to, holding people accountable in game decisions and, the post and pre-snap penalties that we have, if that changes, then, the fire is right. We're kind of going to see whether or not it was worth it mid-season here in the next couple of weeks to see if all these team mistakes that we tend to make just stops. Because people were mad at Lazard for his drop last week, even though overall he had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, he did get in the end zone this past game. 4 drops is tough, but let's see if they make a move for Devontae Adams. But it was quick, a little bit surprising that they did it now, but very curious to see what they do under Jeff Ulbrich. Sin City, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for checking in with us here.
Have a good one.
All right, let's go. Let's keep the train rolling. We'll go out to our guy, Johnny Boy there. Johnny, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
What's going on? What's your reaction to Robert Saleh getting canned?
Dude, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming through.
Okay, my bad. Dude, this is what needed to happen. After the whole cadence situation, talking about, oh, maybe you shouldn't do the cadence. You're throwing it to the guy that's thrown over 90 something times, that is playing hero ball, when in the beginning of the season, everybody, all of us, was saying, we don't need Aaron Rodgers to be great. We don't need him to be amazing. And you're asking him, right, to play at a level where he was at when he was in his 30s over there in Green Bay. It's not going to happen. We can't do it. Teams are going ahead and making us one-dimensional, and you cannot get on the podium and say, it's on me. It's my fault. I need to be better. But you put it on everybody else. You're telling guys, I'm not going to make them do push-ups. You better tell these dudes to make push-ups, because they're not doing what they're supposed to. Is it hard that this happened right now? Yeah, it is, because we're putting in the position. Does it give us a spark going into Buffalo? Because Buffalo's a must-win now. We have to win in that game. Again, I'm glad that Woody did it. That, to me, is showing that he gives a crap about the fans and this team over hurting Robert Saleh's feelings or anybody else's feeling. You know what message is putting? He puts to everybody in there. It's on site. Anybody could get it. Anybody can be gone. We're not the same old Jets. We have too much talent on this team, and it just can't happen. You got Quincy, who's normally the most happiest dude and all that, talking about it starts from the top. He's talking about Woody and going down from there. We need people to keep them accountable, right? And who's the main guy that can make any power moves? It's Woody Johnson.
That's it.
And he's never done this. And now, are you gonna have some Jet fans that are gonna be like, this is same old Jet stuff? How can we go ahead and do this right now? This is the best time to do it, because it's still so early. And all those people love Ulbrich, I can't even pronounce his name right now because I'm still in awe that this last night, literally, I'm talking about this. I'm like, you guys want to make a statement? You fire Saleh. Should have been no reason that every single team is making us one-dimensional and we're expecting freaking Aaron Rodgers to throw for 60 damn attempts a game and hoping that he doesn't get a pick. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't. And we got a Jordan Schultz tweet that I wanted to pull up. Sources: Robert Saleh came into the building today, business as usual. The decision of him getting fired was a surprise, and it came directly from ownership. Defensive players in the building are shocked by it. Interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich is loved in the building and will take over, but this was a stunner to many. So I don't think the defense was expecting it. And like, there's obviously guys in that locker room who really like Saleh, and like that was the point of hiring him. He's a player's coach, but unfortunately, like as we've both been saying here, at the end of the day, he hasn't been good enough, and this team needed a wake up call before the season got too far off the rails.
He's gonna get a defensive coordinating position quickly. I mean, we gotta say for what it is, he's good at that. It's just a head coaching part. It's that when he came in and he said about Breece Hall and was talking in regards about Breece Hall stating to him that, you know, he's been our guy and all this stuff like that. Instead, giving it to the hot hand that's averaging 5 yards a carry, and you're not going to do that because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Screw that. We haven't won anything in how long?
Yep.
Dude,
it's time.
Look, I know you got other people. Dude, I had to come up here and show you some love, bro. I'm so fired up. We both got our Mets gear on.
GM.
They won it for freaking Grandpa O'Leary, which I was super happy that they did that. Let's go Mets. Hey, this is new Jets, baby. New time. Everybody be excited, be happy. Throw Hackett upstairs. Have him call the calls from up there. Let A-Rod be the guy. Feed the beast. Play him like Aaron Jones used to play when he was with Aaron. Do a wheel route. Do something creative. Let's get it, man. Let's get this W. Jets, Jets. You're the man, brother.
Boy. Appreciate you. We'll get back to the calls in a second. Just want to rip through some super chats here. Thank you guys for supporting and hanging out as we got really a big breaking news for the first time in a long time. J. Crew says, about time Jody putting pressure. It came from ownership, but the point is, like, this wasn't good enough, right? Like, there is clearly pressure on this team to perform, and at the first signs of them underachieving, coach gets canned. He gets knocked away, and we'll see if Ulbrich can spark the team. I think he can. I think a coaching change can absolutely spark the team. We saw it with the Raiders in 2021. After everything that went on with Gruden that year, they let him go and they hire an interim and they go make a run and they make the playoffs. Jack chimes in, says, I don't know about this. I think it adds to the chaos. I would have taken play calling away from Hackett first. I would have. That to me seems like a logical first step, but I don't know how realistic it is to think that, Hackett could get the boot with Rodgers still here, as messed up as that is. The reality is, Robert Saleh was 20-36 as a head coach and 2-3 with this team. And it felt like there was starting to be a disconnect. And at the first signs of losing the locker room, they pulled the plug on it. So really, really hard to blame them for me. Ryan Gresham became a member. Thank you, Ryan. You could become a member as well. You get little like emojis and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Ron Weiss chimes in. Hey, buddy, are there any OCs out there that Rodgers gets along with? Any other ones? I don't know. I hope that there's somebody else that they could bring in. But as of now, it's going to stick and continue to be Nathaniel Hackett. Again, still refreshing Twitter on the side here. I got one eyeball on the chat and the screen. The other one's taking a look the other way, checking in. Let's go back to the calls and we'll go back to super chats. Mike is waiting up next. Mike, how's it going? How are you? You're muted, Mike.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Hello, Matt. Thanks for having me on. Long time no speak. Congrats also, 1,000 people on the stream. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just think it's crazy. Very happy to finally see that Saleh's gone. On that same note, does it create a little bit more chaos, or does it even make a difference, considering we're thinking Saleh, like long term, I guess, throughout the season. If Saleh is so far removed from things, it seems like we were talking about, I think, in your last video, the 1,000-yard stare, things like that. I'm curious long term how that happens. I was looking into some numbers. Like we go up after the first game, teams usually win an extra like 12, 13%. And then throughout the season, it's drops down a little bit to like 9 to 10%, which isn't too bad. Just got to get into the playoffs. But yeah, curious, I guess. I know this is very far ahead, but if we see Ulbrich obviously doing well, do you see them hiring him or maintaining? Because the defense has been so, I mean, it's elite. Because I know people are bringing up Ron Middleton, DeBrickashaw, Ferguson, Mangold. I mean, there's so many different names. And I know that's a little bit far ahead maybe, but
yeah,
I'm just excited for it.
No, totally. I'm excited to see what he's able to do with this team and this roster as well. He's clearly loved in that building. I think we just let it play out. If he plays well, they go on a run in the playoffs, then yeah, maybe we do have that conversation. I'm sometimes a little bit wary of giving the interim the job. Sometimes it feels like there's that initial spark, but then it quickly fades, kind of like what happened with maybe Antonio Pierce. Yep, great example. So I don't want to say a definite yes or no. I think we have to let it play out and let the eye test tell us.
Last thing, Woody Johnson comes back from his mission with the Donald Trump administration. I mean, like you said, I'm 25. I've never, ever seen Woody Johnson operate in this way or the Johnson family operate in this way. So I don't know. I just think that's exciting for the next, hopefully 5, 10, 15 years of the Jets. But
yeah, hopefully, absolutely. Hopefully it's a good sign. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you checking in. LGM. All right. Zach is up next. Zach, what is going on? How are you?
What's up? Good morning. I'm super excited, honestly, because I couldn't take the post-game interviews, not holding people accountable, 20-36. I mean, if he hasn't won at all, because we gave him the first year, okay, Zach Wilson wasn't good. Second year, it's like, okay, we definitely know Zach Wilson isn't good, and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. And now it's like the games that we've lost so far, besides the 49ers game, felt like they should have won. I feel like they were outcoached in all of those losses. And I think we give him too much credit for the defense. I feel like more of that should be for Jeff Ulbrich. He is the defensive coordinator, and it's just like we're like, oh, well, Robert Saleh was a defensive coordinator, so he must be the whole reason. But I feel like it was probably just more Ulbrich anyways. And I can't, bro. I was so pissed when they that whole play count snap thing when they were going off sides last week. It was like, for him to sit there and be like, oh yeah, maybe we should just not do that. And then Rodgers says the complete opposite. It was like, dude, it's like he always thinks like, what is the worst thing I could possibly say in post game?
It feels that way, right? Doesn't it feel that way? Just like no self-awareness whatsoever. I think that shtick wore old pretty quickly.
Dude, and it's like you can't just create a winning culture with a guy who hasn't won shit in the past couple of years. Excuse my language, but it's like I'm not upset at all by this. I honestly, I think Ulbrich will do a good job, but on offense though, we got to figure it out. I get so upset because I watch like a Chiefs game, and dude, they're going in motion every play. They're switching it up. Like, dude, I think last year they won a chip with like no number one receivers because their offense is so well run. And obviously, give credit to Patrick Mahomes, but. Like, my bad, I don't know I'm yapping, but it's like, dude, I get so sick of watching the same old Jets, but yet
other teams make it look so easy, right?
But like we know they have good talent.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm not upset by it. I'm glad it was early in the season. I'm going to the game Monday as well, so we'll see how we'll see how that goes. So,
Zach, I appreciate you checking in with us here this morning and supporting. Go Jets. Enjoy the game on Monday.
Thank you. Go Jets.
Sweet. All right. I'm going to just rip through a couple more super chats. We'll get back to the calls. We got a lot of people in here hanging with us. It's appreciated. Jacob says, does this mean Joey D is likely staying? I think it depends on how the rest of the year plays out. I think he's done a better job than what Robert Saleh has done. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, do you give him a year 7? Hopefully this is enough to spark him and get him into the playoffs and that he does stay and they pick a new coach. Hype says, Word Douglas in talks with Pep Hamilton to assist Hack. Okay. That's interesting. We'll have to take a look and see. Pep Hamilton. I haven't seen that yet. From any of the insiders, but we'll keep an eye on it. Kind of shocked it's not the tight end coach as the interim. Yeah, so Rob Middleton was the coach when Robert Saleh had COVID during 2021. I think it was between Ulbrich and Middleton. Clearly, I think those were the two best options. With how the defense has performed, it feels like that was the next logical choice for me. So I'm not all that surprised by it, honestly. Ron says maybe Saleh wearing the Lebanese flag on his shirt last Sunday tipped the ship over. I don't know. I think the 20-36 record had more to do with it than the flag. And then Jacob says Jets have a chance to do something funny with Belichick. P.S. I don't want this, just funny. Yeah, I don't think they will do it. He hates the New York Jets. He hates Woody Johnson. That's why he didn't take the job in the first go round. So I don't think that we have to worry about that one. Back to the calls. Alex Robinson's been waiting for a while. We'll put him up. Alex, how's it going, man?
Well, good freaking morning, Matt O'Leary.
Yeah, right? Was not expecting that.
No, this was not the Jets news I thought I was going to be hearing this morning, like, whatsoever. But I am shocked that this is the first staff change they made. I thought Hackett was going to be the first guy to get the cut, but I can't really complain about Saleh being gone. I appreciate what he's done here. I will admit that. I think he's done a great thing in turning this culture around for the better in most ways, but it had to be done. I just didn't think it'd be this early.
No, I think they did it like before it really got too far off the rails. Because if they lost this game and dropped to 2-4, that's a really tough hill to climb out of at that point. I think they wanted to spark this team and try to win on Monday, which if they do, with how poorly they played, they'd be in first place in the division still after all this, which is nuts, but still the case.
Yeah, I will say this though. Although I think this fixes some issues, there is still one glaring red flag in this staff, and I think everybody knows who I'm talking about. As much as we want to, yeah, I know, right? But I know we want to point the finger, and yeah, Robert Saleh had a lot of issues. He wasn't the offensive coach ever. I feel like this ship doesn't necessarily get fully right with a lame duck still in Hackett at OC, but who knows? Maybe Saleh was the issue. We'll find out, I guess. This is going to get interesting. I do have a question for you, though, Matt. I know it's early thinking about this. We're still just getting ready to be 6 games into the year. Who's next in line, do you think? Do you think they give Ulbrich the job at the end of the year? Or do you think, personally, my first mind came to mind was Mike Vrabel. I would love for him to come be the head coach of the Jets. Just wondering what you're feeling in that situation.
Yeah, I am. I like the Mike Vrabel idea. He's kind of like the disciplinarian. He's had the experience. He's gone on runs in the playoffs before. Ulbrich would be another first-time head coach, and that scares me a little bit. I don't want to make any like decisions now, even before he's coached the game, and say he absolutely is going to get hired or there's no way he gets hired. I think you let it see. We'll see how it plays out. But Vrabel's a name you brought up that I love. If it comes down to it in the offseason, we're doing the coaching search in January and February. He would be one of my first calls.
Gotcha. I definitely agree. Vrabel, with the issues that we've had with the undisciplined BS these past few years, yeah, Vrabel coming in, we'd go from penalties every other second to no penalties in like a full game, and that'd be great. Bring me that every day. I'd be happy with that.
I hope so. Alex, thanks for checking in, man. We're going to keep it rolling here on the show.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. We got another legend on the line. V-Man is up. V-Man, how you feeling?
Good. By the way, I see if you know this question. Do you know the last time the Jets have had an interim head coach?
No. Who?
It'd be during the Gerald Ford administration in 1976, after they fired Lou Holtz. That's how long it's been since this has ever happened.
Okay, I'm glad that you were here to bring that up as the history guy. I would not have been able to pull that off the top of my head.
No, it's crazy. I did not see this coming, but as much as I wanted it to work out, it's probably for the best. Let's be real. They've been It's the same old problems, game in and game out. You saw the New England. I mean, after the New England game, we thought maybe they finally got it. They finally figured it out. then nope. Just like they do with Saleh. Just the thing is, when it seems that when his team has less time to prepare, they come off they're sharp, they're well focused, and they win. But then when the moment they have any extra time, they completely fumble it. Like you look at after Thursday night with the Broncos. After Thursday night when they beat the Patriots and they go extra time to play the Broncos, they completely fall flat on their face. Every time this team under Saleh has had extra time to prepare, they look terrible.
You're right, and that's been the case with him his entire tenure. He hasn't been good out of the bye. He hasn't been good with extra rest, and I think they were tired of it.
You know, it's like it is. Like I said, I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I wanted it to work out. You know, I like the idea of diversity higher. You know, I like seeing the little guys. You know, come through and persevere. But in the end of the day, it's a results-based league, and you know, the results weren't what we wanted them to be. So you know, I like the Ulbrich hire. I like the promoting Ulbrich. You know, the defense has been playing. You know, he's done a good job with the defense. We'll see if they can clean up these penalties. This is a must-win game now, and I think now this is going to give you that energy. And the question everyone obviously has is with Hackett. You know, can they get this offense back on track? You know, can we see more of what we saw in New England and less of everything else? You know, 'cause that's what we need right now, and hopefully maybe this change will help spark something.
I hope so. They need something to get this season back on track. I know it's early, but what are we thinking for this week against Buffalo? You think this gives them a better shot now to beat the Bills on Monday night?
I think so. Also, I think the Bills are starting to come falling down to earth a bit. So they after they got off to their hot start, you know, they've lost the last two games. You know, starting to cool off a bit. So you know, giving the Jets this spark as the Bills are cooling down is, you know, I think the timing is right.
I agree. I agree with you, V-Man. Thanks for checking in with us this morning.
All right, peace.
There we go. Let's keep it rolling. We'll go to Royal D up next. What's going on, man? How are you? You're muted. Royal D, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, my bad, man.
There you go.
I said I'm over here in South Florida just getting ready for this hurricane and got hit with another hurricane in this Jets news right now. So
there you go. Good luck this week, by the way.
Thanks. I think we can confirm then that Saleh and Rodgers didn't have the best relationship if Hackett's still here and Robert's not. I don't understand how we can still have Hackett here in this situation. If he was that bad, I mean, we know how bad he was. He has to go. That's the only thing I can think.
Yeah, I would love for him to go. I don't know if we'll ever see that as long as Aaron Rodgers is still here. I don't think they would ever get rid of Nathaniel Hackett, unfortunately.
So that's how you know how bad Rodgers and Saleh's relationship was then. If he's gone out the door after 5 games and Hackett's still here. So.
Yeah, you bring up a point. I don't think the comments went over well with the cadence from 2 weeks
No,
ago.
you could see it in his eyes in that interview. As soon as Rodgers heard that answer, he basically could have rolled his eyes without doing it. So we need to do something here. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Royal D, for checking in with us. I think you're right. You bring up a good point with their relationship.
Yeah. Have a good day, man. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Let's go next to Donald. Donald is in the line. Yeah. What's going on?
Nah, man, what's good?
That's a thought.
What's your reaction to the Saleh firing?
Man, I'm pissed right now.
Why are you pissed?
Because I never expected that to come and happen like that, though. I thought it'll be Nathaniel Hackett first before Robert Saleh.
Got it. Okay. So you wanted Hackett gone before Saleh. That's fair. I mean, I do think that Hackett is a big issue here. I just like I said,
Hackett is the big issue right now. It wasn't Robert Saleh. It wasn't him. It was Hackett.
Yeah,
that's the one that was the biggest issue. That's the one that was calling all the offensive plays and stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, he won't. That loss that we took, that we should have had won, was because of Hackett.
Yeah, I mean, Hackett's bad. Like, I'm not going to defend Nathaniel Hackett. I just think as long as Aaron Rodgers here, like I was saying to the last caller, I just don't think they would move on from him. I'm not saying that's the right decision, but that just seems like how it's going to go here, unfortunately.
And I truly think the coach trade, the coach thing for Robert Saleh to be gone, like we should have just picked up like Bill Belichick did. I mean,
Belichick, come on now. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get nuts with Bill Belichick. He doesn't like Woody Johnson. That's why he didn't take the job the first time.
well, Herm Edwards would have been a better option though.
All right.
I say we try to go back and get Herm Edwards.
Maybe Rex. What do you think of
Nah,
Rex?
Rex. I don't know about Rex.
No. Al Groh?
Al Groh, yeah, pretty good.
Okay.
But there's another one there's another head coach that's in college right now that's doing a heck of a good job right about now. I think we should just go scout him.
Okay. Thanks, Donald. I appreciate your comments on the Saleh firing. Let's go to Stevie. Sorry about that, Stevie. What's going on, man?
What's going on? So first off, I just want to say, like, how are we going to perform with like a defensive mind head coach? Because Robert Saleh was obviously on the 49ers, and he came from the defensive coordinator to the head coach, and he was all defensive minded. Like, I get it, but like, what if we just get an offensive minded coordinator?
Like, did you have a different name in mind that you would have liked to see get the interim tag?
I don't know, because I feel like Jeff Ulbrich could help this team, and he's been watching it for so long. Well, not so long, just for enough time to see what's going on. And Hackett of course, Hackett got Aaron Rodgers the MVPs, but Aaron Rodgers was changing half of those plays his whole Green Bay career. He was audibling on the line. So I think that Robert Saleh was a good move, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think they're just hoping the new voice helps, because sometimes it's the coach that, like, they just lose connection with the locker room. And I've said it a few times on the stream already, but the comments from Saleh, I think, were a little concerning the last 2 weeks, and we've seen two players and two leaders speak up. And Rodgers after the week 4 game, and then this past week, we saw Quincy Williams have some comments about accountability. So maybe they're hoping a new voice makes the change here.
Yeah, and I feel like there was so much. We could have won Broncos and Vikings, but on the line, at the 1 yard line on the Vikings game, we just got like 4 penalties for like holding or like pass interference. We can work on that, and push-ups do work, and running does work. So I feel like Robert Saleh could have done just a better job in general.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Thanks for checking in with us, Stevie, today.
Thank you.
Love it. Good stuff. We'll do a couple super chats, then get back into the calls. We still got a few people hanging out with us in here. Aura wants Mike Vrabel, please. I think that's going to be a name that we're going to see brought up a ton over the next few months. He is probably going to be the hottest name, if maybe one of the first-time head coaches. Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick are two offensive coordinators who are going to be very hot on the market. But in terms of someone who was a head coach at this level, I think Vrabel's going to be pretty high up on that list as well. Blitz Crew's hanging with us, says supported Saleh up until after Denver. Excuses were exhausted. He was given the benefit of the doubt. Excuse me, probably a great assistant, but not a head coach. I was in the same boat. I went into this year saying I don't think he's been great, but I want to see him with this Jets plan with Aaron Rodgers at the helm before we make any decisions on whether he is or isn't the guy. And I was beyond frustrated after the Denver game. That's the one that lost me. And then after the Vikings game, I think that was kind of just the cherry on top. Let's go to the number one grinder. What's going on?
Thank you. I found this out through Jets media, and I was like, really thinking about what's happening. It needs to be done. Now, I thought that we're gonna ride it out to the end of the season, and then we go for the head coach. That's what I was thinking, and I would be with that. But they're happening right now, and you see the body movements. It was not looking good, brother. And I know that it was not looking good. It was not looking good. So, do I ever trust Woody Johnson? I really don't. But It got to be a move. Because see, we saying we go for the Super Bowl or bust. See, we just see people understand. We just 2-3. Now we should win. We should have won Denver and the Vikings. There's no doubt about it. We're supposed to win those games. There's no doubt about that. But there's something that I want to say. We got Saleh out. Pete got it well and good. But the thing for me, Hackett. I don't like to say that name. On my channel, I say H because I don't like Hackett.
Fair.
And I'm saying I don't like Hackett. And so for me, I'm just throwing it out there, and you can spoil it if you want, because I'm gonna spoil on my channel if they don't. But I'm gonna throw it out right there. You're gonna hear first from me.
Okay.
Now we gonna hack it out. Jake Owen, I love him. I do. Every time he on it, the play, the offensive, they love him. I love him. So I don't have a problem with that. But with Hackett, I want people to hear this, because you're gonna hear it first on my brother's channel right now. You will hear it first right here. If I was a player of the Jets, I'm talking about both sides.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, I know Hackett's your boy and everything, but he's not getting it done. It's got to be a change. Because we can say the defense all we want to, but it got to be no, I'm serious. I'm gonna say it on my channel, I'm gonna say it. It's got to be a change. They got to go to Rodgers. Your boy is not getting it done.
You're not wrong. He's not getting it done. He hasn't been good enough. That'd be their next play if this continues to go wrong.
I'm gonna say it on my channel, but I'd rather say it here right now, so people can hear it on record right now.
Well, you're on the record. You are on the record. Hackett, he's the next man out.
He got to go, and Carter got to go. Let be a package plan. Carter got to go too. Send him on his way.
Keith Carter can go too. He stinks. I'm with you on that.
They got to go. No, listen. If we're gonna make a run, right? Let's say the playoffs. If we're gonna make a run, get that stuff out of there. Get it out of there, so we can start. And Rodgers, you have to. Oh, Rodgers, I hope you listen. You have to understand. We need a breathing. We need something clear air here. Your boy stinks. Carter stinks. They got to go. Because it's still going to be a cloud. We don't need that cloud.
No.
And that's all I'm going to say. But thank you. But I'm going to say it on my channel. I just want to say it and let people know. Great job.
Where can people see this video? What's the channel name?
My channel is The Underrated Darkness.
There we go. We will check it out later. Thank you for calling in and talking with us this morning.
Thank you. And keep up the fine work.
I appreciate it. Let's go to Harry. Harry, how you feeling?
Good. Well, not great, but I'm thinking, how does this bode for Joe Douglas? What do you think he ends up at the end of this? I mean, he's saved now. They weren't dumping the house. Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on how this year goes. That was their first play, but if they don't make the playoffs, I think they're just going to reset it. I think they'll, get a new GM and a new coach in there. But if they make the playoffs, I think one of two things happens: that Douglas returns and that they either keep the interim head coach, or Douglas returns and they do a head coaching search and hire the next guy. That's my take on it. So I still think there's a playoff mandate here.
I mean, he has two things against him. He drafted Zach Wilson and he hired Robert Saleh. Those are the biggest two negatives.
And that's on his resume. I feel like sometimes that gets glossed over. He has done a lot of really good things for the Jets. I don't want to come on here and kill him.
And I like him.
Yeah, I would say I like him too, but I think we have to, and like what you're saying, you have to look at the whole picture. Like, he hired the guy. We could dislike Robert Saleh all we like, but he was the one who hired him.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I wish us luck for the rest of the season, and I'll be rooting as I always do for the last 50-something years. So,
Harry, You're the best. Thank you for checking in with us
No
today.
problem, bro.
Hopefully it goes well. I'm rooting for Ulbrich too.
Me too.
I love it. Good stuff, Harry. We got Andrew on the line up next. Andrew, how's it going?
Not bad, brother. How about yourself? How are we feeling now?
Yeah, I was really surprised by it. Was not expecting this decision to come through today, but I do think it's the right time to make a move like this to try to save their season.
So I just had a quick question. I don't know why I can't get this out of my head right now. So I woke up this morning on my way out to get to the gym and everything, and I've been sitting here since last night saying, I got to get this Devontae notification. I got to get this Devontae notification. And of course, as soon as I open my eyes, I get a Christmas gift right underneath the tree. Saleh's gone. This whole thing's done. Not the news I was looking for, but now I'm thinking, we've never done this before. We didn't do it with Gase. We didn't do it with Rex. We didn't do it with anybody. So the question I find myself asking is, why Tuesday? Why did he take his press conferences yesterday? What happened? Was there a big blow up behind the scenes or something that maybe we don't know about?
That's a very valid question because they played Sunday. It's not like they were the Monday night game and then they were waiting for the next day. It's rare to see a coach get let go on a Tuesday. Supposedly the reports were that he showed up today, business as usual, and then ownership came down and let him know about the decision.
Yeah, something there doesn't sound. I don't know. Maybe it's a Woody thing, but to me, I don't know. It seems like he must have lost the locker room, the coaching staff from the top down. Everybody must have just lost faith in him at this point, and Woody probably just was behind the scenes meeting and conniving his way around. What do you guys think about him? What do you guys think about him? And it just came to the decision where, and everybody wants to get wrapped up in the who the next coach is going to be, who the next coach is going to be. What if we lose to Buffalo and we lose to Pittsburgh, and we have Jeff Ulbrich as an interim coach? We're 2-5 and the season's over. Then what do you do?
Then you ride out just what is a horribly disappointing year. Rodgers probably retires. Douglas is probably fired. And you get a new GM and a new coach and try again.
That would be awful to be done by week 9. But thanks for the time, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking in with us, Andrew. All right, there we go. Robert Saleh fired on this fine Tuesday morning. Was not expecting to see that. We are still waiting to see if anything happens with Davante Adams. There were rumors that he would be moved within the next 24 to 48 hours. That was as of yesterday. So we might even get some Devontae stuff coming at some point down the line today. I was fully prepared to release a video this morning on Devontae Adams with the and why he would actually help the New York Jets. And in that video, I was ranting. I said, Woody Johnson's never fired a coach in season. I don't disagree with the logic. I don't think it's something that's actually on the table. I really don't. And then we wake up and, well, they actually did it. They pulled the plug on Robert Saleh. So again, I'm excited to see what Jeff Ulbrich can do here. I do think it's something that can spark this team going into the rest of the season, going into a must-win game against the Buffalo Bills to save their season to go to 3-3. And if they do win that game, well, they're in first place. They are in first place in the division. So there we go. I think we'll end it there. That's a good spot to call it. We did a lot of phone calls. We did a lot of reactions in the comments. That'll do it. I'm Matt O'Leary. Robert Saleh's gone, and I'll catch you next time.